Hello, we're Stark.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, we're hosting another session designed to support blue light organizations on key energy topics. And this one's focused on electrifying your estate for emergency services. Um, so, some introductions. My name's Talbot Williams. I'm the National Channel Manager in our public sector sales team here at Stark. I work closely with a number of blue light organizations, NHS trusts, local authorities, and other organizations within the wider public sector. And I'm pleased to be joined by my colleague, Mark, who I'll let introduce himself.
Good morning, all. My name's Mark Whitfield. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager for Start Works and Infra. Been in the utility industry for over 20 years, 14 years as a DNO and several then as for an IDNO. So I have a good understanding of how both work.
We've also got Leanne, who you won't be able to see. She's in the chat. She'll be keeping an eye on any questions, sharing some links, or helping with any technical issues. So feel free to drop anything. Well, if you have any issues, drop something in the chat, and she'll be able to help you. So our focus today is on providing blue light organizations a simple, clear, practical understanding of power infrastructure. We'll explore the key components, common misconceptions, and real world constraints, so you can make informed decisions to protect your critical services. So in this session, we'll have a short presentation followed by around 30 minutes for a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, put them in the questions tab or in the chat at any point, and we'll pick them up at the end of the presentation. So we have a quick poll for you, if you wouldn't mind answering, and it's a pretty straightforward question. Have you worked with an IDNO or an ICP before? So a lot of you have not worked with either. We've got a couple who have worked with both, and one attendant has worked with an IDNO. So the majority of you have not worked with either. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So before I hand over to Mark, we'll be focusing on three core areas today: understanding the basics, exploring your options, and outlining how we may be able to support you. So over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Talbot. Okay, so, apologies for that. So let's start at the very beginning. Who provides the power? You've got three organizations that deliver this. One is the generator, who actually makes the electric. You've got the transmitter, which is normally National Grid across your pylons. And then you've got your distributor, which is your regional distribution network operator. So basically, they're the company that owns and operates all the electricity cables and substations within your region. They include UKPN, SSE, Northern Power Grid, Electric North West, and Scottish Power Energy Networks. So what happens when you need more power? Let's say you either want to get rid of your gas, put air source heat pumps in, or even EV chargers. The process at the moment is your current electrical connection may not be able to handle as much power as you require, which is commonly known as the KVA load. That's the capacity load that's available on your current cables. So adding anything extra like EV chargers or air source heat pumps can exceed the limit that you have. That can require a capacity upgrade where you might need a larger cable. You may even need a substation to upgrade the power supply. And someone needs to design, build, and connect that to the network. So for many years, for decades, you've only had one choice: go to your regional distribution network operator to do the work. You call them, you get in touch with them, you wait for the quote, and then you pay the price. So you accepted the timeline of how long it would take them to deliver yours, and you had no alternative. So what the government decided to do was create competition in the market. So in the early 2000s, the government asked a simple question: why can't customers choose who provides the infrastructure on the electricity? So much like your delivery companies like Royal Mail, DHL, etc., your phone provider, your energy supplier, you always had the ability to choose who you wanted to deal with. So by creating the competition in the electricity infrastructure, they then created what they call the independent distribution network operators, otherwise known as the IDNOs, and they were there designed to do exactly the same work as your regional DNO. So what is an independent distribution network operator? So an IDNO can basically develop and maintain the network exactly the same as the DNO. It's Ofgem licensed, and they have the same safety and technical standards and subject to the same regulations and inspections as the regional DNO are as well. So what's an ICP? Again, that's an independent connections provider, and they design and build the infrastructure. They can supply upgrades and can deliver and under the same regulations and have to be accredited by the NERS, which is the Lloyd's National Electricity Registration Scheme. They have to be on that to be able to deliver these projects. So you can give the contractor choice by giving more flexibility within this competition. Excuse me. So stock are both an IDNO and an ICP, so we can design, build and operate everything under one roof. So your power upgrade options, you've got two options at the moment. Your traditional route is to go to your regional DNO. You submit your request, you receive your quote, and normally they'll pay you have to pay the full amount up front before they'll even engage in the design stage. So the DNO will always keep future revenue and they do not pass anything on to you. So the traditional independent distribution network route means that you get consultation at the very start. We can help with designs. We'll also have the ability to make the applications for you, and we can advise and help you how with the project. With the most projects can be complicated. We can see through that and give you technical advice to help you. So we also include an asset value, which helps to reduce your overall cost, and the whole site and ongoing support is something we provide, not just as an extra, that's the completely from the start to the finish. So what's an asset value? Because this is one of the questions I always get asked, and it normally creates many questions in the chat. What is an asset value and how do you get it? So your asset value is something that an IDNO deliver based upon the bill that you're already paying. So the network has a long-term value through charges that are included in your electricity bill. So it doesn't matter who you pay your bill to, they pay those three companies we mentioned earlier, which is your generator, your transport, and your distributor. So the IDNO then get a percentage of that cost you would normally pay through your bill anyway to the network. So instead of the DNO getting that revenue, the IDNO receives it. So what it does is it gives an offer of an asset value, which is born from those costs that are already included in your bill, and it gives you a reduction of your overall capital cost. So the asset value is something that's already there. It's just the fact that we provide you with a discount from that, whereas your DNO keeps it. So the other question about energy infrastructure is about building it or bundling it with building work. And often what can happen is when you're doing a refurb, your main contractor is handling the electricity infrastructure too. They are not the experts because they are the experts in building. So it's far better to deal with the electricity utility company directly because it means that you're not adding margin from your construction company. It isn't their expertise, and you've got no direct relationship to get advice and help from that utility provider. So the better approach is literally get a utility provider to provide the connection for you, because the majority of the time they'll be provided once your construction's complete. And it means that you get a clear and transparent route through with good advice and help. Okay, so we'd like you to join, we like these polls, so we'd like to ask you another question. For those of you that have dealt with a DNO, what have you found most challenging?
So looks like at the moment got the biggest problem is response times, but it's spread across the board. So we've got a couple of point of connection applications, technical advice and communication. But it looks like the biggest problem at the moment is response times, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So how can we help you? As the ICP, what we can do for you is we can give you technical advice. We can respond to your queries in a timely manner. We can advise and help or even make the application for you for the point of connection. We'll then give you all of that that you're looking for to enable you to understand what you require. Excuse my voice. How much energy you require, how much capacity, what you need to do to enable you to get from that request to the final point of connection and the timelines that are involved with it. So what we want to do is give you as best communication as we can in a timely manner so that you completely understand what we're trying to achieve. We'll take over all that communication with the DNO, with your regional DNO, to alleviate all the issues and problems that you generally have with all that lack of communication, timescales. And being an IDNO and an ICP, they will tend to respond to us on a more timely manner than dealing with somebody who's independent from that. So what do we do? In a nutshell, we do it all, but let's just break it down a little bit. So we'll start off providing you with a design to show you how we'll bring that connection and how we'll do that upgrade. We provide you with that point of connection. We'll also include with the traffic management, any council notice. Bear with me a second, I'll just take a quick drink. Any council applications that are needed for off-site excavation, we include all of that. If you require a substation for your power upgrade, we can install and provide that for you. So from the infra side, they'll maintain the network, they energize it, they will audit it and manage it and fix any problems that arise in the future. So treat us very much like a DNO, because our Stark works and Stark infra, the ICP side will do the delivery, but the infra side, which is for the network, will maintain it no different to your regional DNO. So we're a complete end-to-end provider. So all of this on here is what we provide for you. Everything that can be brought into you at a later stage. So at the moment, we're just talking about Start Works and Infra, where we're the ICP and the IDNO, where we build and adopt. But the group of companies of Stark are involved in a lot more, including metering, EV chargers, M&E consultancy. So we can get involved in all of this with you. So we can start off with a power upgrade, and then we can talk to you afterwards about how you want more EV chargers, how you want to downgrade the gas and install air source heat pumps, even solar and PV. So in basic terms, what we call a turnkey approach, where we can provide you the service from the very start right to the end. And even after the connection's been made, we maintain that connection forever and a day. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. I'll now pass you back to Talbot.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, and as Mark was saying, we do have a wide range of services, and really just showing this slide just to highlight that we're on a approved number of frameworks across our services. So just giving you a choice of compliant and straightforward routes to market if you decide to engage with us. And we have one final poll, I promise, before we wrap up and move to the questions. But we would like to know if you would be interested in a follow-up webinar with sort of more technical detail on substations and asset adoption. So yeah, if you could let us know, that would be great. I'll just give everyone a few seconds to respond to that. So to summarize what we've covered today, first of all, you all have a choice. Recent changes in the market mean you're no longer limited to a single provider, i.e. the DNO, and you don't have to default to the DNO. There are alternative options available, so it gives you greater flexibility and control. Secure the right foundations. This isn't just about power. Your infrastructure decisions directly impact your wider strategy, including net zero ambitions, EV charging, solar integration, and the electrification of your buildings. And finally, choose wisely. Electrification is unavoidable, so it's important to work with a partner who looks beyond the immediate connection and understands how your power infrastructure supports your long-term energy strategy. That's everything from us today. Thank you all for joining and the great questions. As I said, we love to speak to you, so please feel free to reach out to Mark and myself. Obviously, our contact details are here, and you can provide some feedback to our marketing team as well. But yeah, thank you all for joining, and hopefully speak to you again soon.
Thank you all.
Stark. Your energy is our world.